And a comeback in the cards potentially for TLF as they pick up Game 3 and will not be swept out of the LCS Challengers League. They got to win 2 more to complete the reverse sweep if they want to make it back to summer. So let's talk about how they were able to get that last one. Honestly, the Olaf pick has just been S tier throughout this entire tournament. I'm just going to say it. When I see Olaf locked in for a team from any point on, I'm just going to say they're going to win, right? Josh, am I on the dot here?
I mean, there's that, but there's also the fact that Kennen has a 0% win rate in this series. So, you know, between those two things, we are looking at a spot where neither team has been able to make it actually work. And, of course, the early game power that came through from Team Liquid First, for the first time, really, this series, really put them over the edge.
I said we need to bring back that Surdy who looks to solo carry and try and do things. Well, hey, let's duo carry with Aspect instead. This will take a Surdy that I can take on.
Yeah, what did they feed Aspect this morning? Like, can we go through Aspect's daily routine from like regular season compared to specifically today and a lot of also this tournament so far? Aspect has been stepping up. I don't know what the stat line was at the very end, but at one point it was 12-1. Just kind of carrying that game casually.
13-1-7.
That's the type of performance that you really want to have, especially in these types of moments. You're down in a series. If you're able to be that player, that one on the team that gets everybody across the finish line and can put on those hard carry performances, gives you a lot of, I mean, obviously eyes are going to be on a tournament like this for scouting, but it just proves that you are worthy of your spot on a team when a lot of things weren't working for TLF in the regular season. Now, obviously, they still have a big hill to climb here. If they want to win this series, MU are still favored. Destrix, are you concerned at all from the form that we saw MU get back was getting picked a couple times in those side lanes?
A little bit concerning. Ooh. That did feel like the shot calling of Maryville University did break down quite a bit there. I do expect to see things in the draft change up a little bit more because remember that Caitlyn Lux was just slammed right away and it didn't really have that impact on the map.
It did give first blood. They were able to heavily punish early game and just go for kind of the crazy lane plays. But yeah, then once we got out of that lane, they weren't really able to impact too much afterwards. And especially at the end there, I felt like MU was just going for like a lot of Hail Mary plays that I wasn't necessarily in agreement that they had to go for. I think one of you might have even said it. It's like, okay, you like that they're trying to find some of these things. I mean, there was like a 5-minute span where they were just dancing around Baron.
Yeah. I mean, you ended up in a situation where Maryville needed to pay attention to 2 different lanes. They needed to make sure that Caitlyn Lux does not fall behind. And they also need to make sure that Niles doesn't get run over by Surdy's Olaf. And you can't do both of those things effectively, right? Your opponent is going to be able to attack one of them unless you are a super genius and constantly reading exactly what it is that Team Liquid First are going to be doing at all moments of the game. That is too tall of a task for the majority of players.
Well, obviously, we know how the game ended. TLF did pick it up. Obviously, they have a hill to climb to finish out this series. But we're going to play our Rally Cry halftime show now to get ready and give players a little bit more time to prepare for draft for game number 4. So, halftime show that we are playing right now is Recall. This is a fun one. You have to spell out something that was said on cast. The 2 of you, as professional broadcasters, obviously speak during the games. What I did was I isolated one short phrase that I felt encapsulated the game as a whole. Now, you're obviously going to go through vowels, consonants, any letters that you want. If you can spell it out, you win. If you have 3 strikes, you lose. You ready to play?
Only 3 strikes, wow.
Yeah, and this is a team game, by the way. So I know I've been pitting the 2 of you against each other so far, but now you get to work together. Destrix, would you like to take the first guess for a letter?
I just choose a letter?
You just choose a letter?
Yeah, let's go with the obvious A.
A. Oh, you think it's so obvious, do you?
So obvious.
That is not correct, and you earn yourself 1 cubby strike on the bottom of the screen.
But that's a pog.
That is a pog, but I still think it's funny.
Strike what?
These are all emotes. I think these are emotes from Rafa's old server, actually. I'm pretty sure that's where I got them from initially. All right, no A. There are no A's in the phrase.
We got to find some vowels here, and there's 2 3-letter words. One of them probably has an E in it.
Yeah.
You think that there's an E? How confident are you in that?
I don't know, like an 8?
That is incorrect.
That's not good.
There are no E's, and now we have the Rafa. I don't even know what to call this one. I forget what it's called in the server.
Oh.
Yep, sure. There we go. There it is. Thank you for finding that one for me. All right, Destrix.
Let's go through them all.
There's no E's.
I.
I?
Oh no.
How confident are you that there's an I? Yes, yes. No, there are, in fact, 2 I's. Boom, boom.
Okay. 2 points.
That's 2. You got 2 right
points?
there.
Yeah. I'm in the lead, Josh.
I know. It's not. It's a collaborative game, Eric. This is not a competitive one.
I'm winning.
All right, Joshi.
All right, well, there's still 3 words that have 3 letters or less. So there has to be, a vowel in some of them, right? All right, let's go with an O.
You think O?
Yeah.
That is
All
correct.
right, thank
There are
God.
2
How many points
O's.
do I get?
I guess
Oh, we're
2.
tied.
if
Screw
we're
you,
keeping
Eric.
You
track.
get 2 zeros. You see that? I got 2
Yeah,
ones.
unfortunately, yeah. All right, Destrix, what do you think?
I'm going to go with an N.
An N. You
Yeah.
think N is on there? Well, yes, there is an N.
Nice, nice.
Ooh.
Only 1, though. Only 1. Joshi. Okay, you could probably start thinking about some of the smaller words, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
can those be?
Let's see. So if it's not an N, ooh, it could be an R. It could be a F.
Okay.
It's something of something,
Okay.
something.
Nice.
All
Yeah.
right, Joshi.
Let's go with an F. I like the F. I like the of.
I like that. I
All
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
Like that. Teamwork.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one right there, Josh. Okay.
Okay.
Destrix, I think he's beating you in points now. I gotta say. I'm
he
pretty
got-
sure he earned a lot there.
Look at all those F's he got, dude. Like,
F's
that's
in
the
the
F
worst
for your
grade.
chat.
It's
F's
the
in the
worst
chat.
grade. Yeah, all right, R.
R. You think there's an R? How confident are you in that, buddy?
Pretty confident. Pretty confident.
There is an R.
All right. Okay.
Okay, Joshi.
Or
So, okay, start thinking about, again, what were phrases said that would encapsulate the game? Something of something for something.
Something of something for something.
Hmm.
Oh.
Also, wait, y'all said E, right?
We did
Yeah.
say E.
Yeah, no, there's actually an E. I'm so trolling. you right
Okay.
now. No. All right, we're gonna remove the Rafa. We're gonna move the Rafa. 'Cause
Hi, Rafa.
I trolled my contestants. I was like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm missing something here.
Yeah, I love how there's still like the shadow of Rafa's lingering around for a couple seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
Signs of life for
fine,
TLF.
fine. We'll keep him there. You're gonna get it at this point.
Yeah, signs of life
Yeah.
for TLF.
That is correct.
Woo!
Signs of life for TLF. They are not out of this series yet, and in that game, I think that encapsulates pretty much what happened. Maryville were not ready for the life that still exists in Team Liquid.
All right,
and
Steve, I'd like to
across
guess
the
another
board.
letter.
You like to guess another letter? Yes.
Z.
Nope. That is incorrect.
What's our
Sorry.
third
Now we get
What's
the
our third
Joshi
emoji?
cringe. Oh yeah.
I want to guess Z again. What's our
3
next
strikes. I actually do have a 4th emote, even though I was only giving you 4 strikes. This one, yeah, there we go. Boom. All right. But you did get it. Signs of life for TLF, not just for the game, but honestly for the whole series, because Game 2 was much closer, in my opinion, from Game 1. Mia had a couple moments where she almost popped off and got them back into the game with these crazy team fights. And then in this time around, it was Aspect and his turn to carry. Also, Surdy with an incredible performance on the Olaf. Will he get it again? In Game 4, who knows? I hope Maryville banned it, but either way, we're going to find out because Pick and Ban is ready, so I'm going to pass it back over to the casters to get us ready for Game 4.
Bye, Steve.
Sorry you had to lose again, Josh. 2 points to nothing.
My bad.
It is what it is.
2 points to nothing. All right. Yeah, we definitely remember who actually guessed the final words. It's all good. We do have Maryville shifting over from the blue side of the map to the red side for the first time since Game 1. It is going to be a J-Span that we have from TLF. Again, what we saw the last time the Team Liquid first were on blue side.
Yeah, Jace locked in a few times for Maryville University. You don't want to see that anymore. It
Zaya.
does a lot of poke. It does a lot of damage. Zaya getting hand away from Scary Cherry.
I'm not surprised that Zaya is getting banned. I'm surprised that Zaya is getting banned now and not before.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like a very odd pivot so late. It's a very new variable coming through for Team Liquid first here, and you're going to be asking very different questions with this, right? I mean, the Varus is still available. that Scary Jerry had a great couple of games on. We still have so many things, right? The cannon is still available, but I'm honestly wondering if at this point both teams are just like, yeah, no, we're done with cannon. We tried that. We tried it 3 times. Neither of us had any success with it. Maybe there's something better that we can go for, right? Because we know that Sturdy has been good at a lot of split pushers, claims to be, these are 2 of our self-proclaimed best Camille players on the server. And we haven't seen either of them come up.
And honestly, Sturdy had a really good answer with the Olaf. Well, what are you going to do with the Slicing Maelstrom? I'm just going to walk through it, bro. Like, huh?
What are you going to do about it? Nothing? Just hang out? Yeah.
Just going to vibe, bro. It's the vibes. And the vibes right now saying it's time to take the Wukong onto the Rift for TLF. City Witty going to be able to have that.
Yeah, not a lot of the unique picks coming out from City Witty today. Very stock standard coming through for this jungler here for Team Liquid First. Whereas on the other side of the map, Maryville University continuing to go with the Karthus bans as well. And the Lucian ban also against Mia and Rovex. It says to me they're not interested in trying to play their Caitlyn Lux again, despite some of the early strength that they did have. Instead, it's going to be Zyko going to his other most played champion in the Rakan, even after the Zarya has been banned.
Rakan, Zyko can look so good on that, and it plays a lot to Maryville's team fight. Able to slide in and be able to grab that backline, get the knock up there. What are you going to pair alongside it if you want to take it into the lane, though? As you had mentioned, Zaya's already banned. Stuff like the Zeri, the Lucian, banned away, unfortunately. Zeri's available. Varus, as you had said earlier. And that is what Maryville want to lock in. Take the Rakan and Varus into the bottom lane.
Yeah. Big level 6 wake-ups coming out from the bottom lane already. You have a ton of engage tools, and so now you need to start building out more damage around it. So we did see that in game 1, Team Liquid First did grab Gragas. It did go over to Aspect. They were the only player, I believe, with kills in game 1 for Team Liquid First. They had 4 of the team's kills almost the entire time. And now, as we start looking at the rest of the series, wow, a character that we actually haven't seen a whole lot today. Something that's been tearing it up throughout the promotion event is in this Jinx, and it is going to be going over to Mia.
I like this for Team Liquid First because you have some good ways to set up the resets for the Jinx to get this Jinx excited. Wukong, teamfight, facilitator, can have that zone control, but the big thing is going to be this Gragas. Especially if Aspect's taking it into the mid lane, it will bring a lot of damage to set up this Jinx.
Yeah, we'll see if Get Back can have a more successful laning phase into Aspect, right? I felt like Get Back did just fine, got plenty of Syndra blocks every single time you hit somebody with multiple spells. You do get another Syndra dollar, and you can use those to upgrade all of your abilities. But the Olaf ban does come through, just as you were asking for before. And now, as we start looking towards the last part of the draft, Team Liquid First coming up with some very different bans than what we've seen. As we see a ban up against Auto Orange for the Jarvan.
J4 getting taken away. Your standard jungler to take to the Rift. TLF don't want to give that early game presence that Odd Orange can bring, because he does do really well in a lot of these early game plans for Maryville University. Next ban to come out is going to be that Nautilus, so they're taking away a lot of those pick tools that TLF can potentially go for alongside Rovex. Merban on the side of TLF. We've already had ADCs, field, bans going over towards the solo lanes. I want to see what counter pick Maryville have set up for this red side.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We have to see what Surdy wants to play first. I'm expecting Rovex to go back towards the Lulu. We have seen the Lulu played a couple of times so far by Rovex, and, you know, had some success with it, but it has been a spot where sometimes it feels as though Rovex and Mia not quite on the same page. One of them is going forward, the other one is not able to keep up, and it does result in them being, you know, a little bit too discombobulated throughout some of these fights. But Maryville, they got to pick up their jungler here and save the counter pick for Niles for whatever it is that Surdy is going to finalize. And it's going to be the Sejuani coming through. So lots of crowd control already coming up.
Yeah. Maryville have a whole pantry of crowd control drafted onto their side. Stuff that TLF are going to have to worry about if they want to keep this Jinx safe. Good things here are Get Back. Get Back, as well as Carry Jerry won't be able to dive in, but the crowd control they will provide, the zone control they provide, is going to be huge right here. Now TLF locking in the Annie, hovering in the Blitzcrank for the time being. This is really going to play a lot more to that Jinx pick, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, it'll depend on ultimately what it is that has been selected, right? The Annie can be played as a support. It has been played into Rakan a number of times, but instead it is going to be Rovex going over towards the Rel. And this character is okay so far, right? You have two melee champions that it is going to be very valuable against. And so, I mean, there's a fair amount of burst coming out from Team Liquid first, right? You have the Gragas, the Wukong, the Annie all trying to set up for Mia in order to get that first reset. And on the other side of the map, you have a very, very powerful backline just generically in the Vars and the Syndra for Scary Jerry and Get Back. And it is going to be Pantheon selected here, going up against Surdy's Gragas in the top side.
So something that Niles has been playing in this tournament, so happy to grab that. For TLF, that burst you were just mentioning, Josh, that is going to be everything for them to get off. I remember before you were saying about the importance about how sometimes the game plan switches between getting the most optimized damage versus getting the kill as fast as you can. I feel like this plays towards that for TLF because you want Mia to get those resets, man. They have great tools for it.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about Jinx, right, is without resets, Jinx is, like, okay. Jinx is just there. When you get those resets, Jinx suddenly goes to being the best character in the game. How fast you are, how much attack speed you have, so much extra damage coming through as well. And Maryville now going into it, they have a couple of players who are going to be very burst resistant in Niles' Pantheon and Odd Orange's Sejuani. But everybody else can be bursted out relatively quickly. We have seen that Maryville's done a fantastic job stopping the Flangles coming out from TLF.
All right. Game number 4, Team Liquid first versus Maryville University. Team Liquid first trying to attempt the reverse sweep. They've gotten game number 3, but they can't lose a single inch to Maryville University. They want to take this. It's not over till it's over. TLH take first Elder and Baron to take the win in game number 3. Shouted out by Team Liquid Honda over in their Twitter. You know, giving a good shout outs to some of their developing players, Josh.
And it's not over till it's over. We gotta see at least one more game between these two teams, and Team Liquid win. We can go to a game 5 as well, which has been the story so far throughout this promotion tournament. And Team Liquid first, right? Now that we actually have a win on the board, we can kind of talk about more of what this means to a lot of these players. This was a team that really struggled during a lot of the regular season for the Challengers League, right? They ended up only picking up a handful of wins. And that was oftentimes because they would win these crazy early game skirmishes, which would give them such a large advantage that they could close it out from that position. But, I mean, so far, that's the only way that they picked up a win so far in this series in order to even get back to where they were before.
I do want to say it was a well-fought win. A lot of that came from the pacing that Team Liquid first were able to do. I mentioned in the last game, Team Liquid first were making plays before Maryville could get proper setup to defend their side lanes. Got to see more of that in this game 4 for Team Liquid first. They got to keep that type of momentum going. You know, City Witty is not on the Vi this time. It's going to be the Wukong, which will play more for the team fight, but can still have that type of impact on the map.
Yeah. So we'll see what City Witty can actually accomplish in this game. It has been a player who we got to see quite a bit during the tryouts that Team Liquid did at the beginning of the year. And he was definitely one of the best performing junglers at the time. Step, step, step. Niles is able to jump in, and honestly, this is a Niles specialty, right? There's no one else who's really been even trying this champion out, and it's something that Niles just is so obnoxious on, right? Because a lot of players don't really know how to play against Pantheon just because you don't see it ever.
It can be a pain. You have to time out a lot of things. You have to watch his resources because if he gets that shield up, or he can combo you real quickly to proc that Conqueror. There's so many different ways you can utilize this kit. You always got to have a very close eye on what cooldowns Niles is burning.
Yeah. There's such long cooldowns. They're very telegraphed, but it is very impactful every time you are able to get that stun off, and you guarantee at least a little bit of relevance later on in the game just because you do have a point-and-click stun to try and shut down some of these players like Mia. Actually, almost only Mia during the next couple of minutes or during the rest of this game for Pantheon to actually jump on. But so far, neither jungler able to get a whole lot done. Get back taking a big chunk out of Aspect. And Odd Orange also finding his way into City Witty's jungle.
Get back's getting some catharsis over in the mid lane. Flash going to be burnt out of Mia. Zyko upping in. That's an early summoner for the bot lane of TLF.
Yeah. Nobody has ever criticized Mia for being too cautious, right? Mia is definitely the player that is going to be going super far forward And as we said, I mean, got Challenger in all 5 roles, and a lot of that had to do with just being super aggressive over and over every single chance she would get. And now, trying to find her way back into the Challengers League. She did take a break for a little while, and as we were talking about, we did have LJX come in as a substitute. But Mia has reported that she's in a much better place now, is much more focused on trying to improve, and when they came back, she absolutely said, yeah, we just got to come back and make sure we find our way back into the Challengers League.
I like to think of it in my headcanon as, oh, they're getting relegated? It's like they need me after all.
Ooh.
I know it was a break. That's not the actual story. Don't go
Come out of retirement.
posting that out there, but I mean that's what Mia is able
like
to
that.
do.
Yeah, the Key and Peel skit.
Yeah. Wait, which one?
The Key and Peel skit, where it's the, all right, well, I'll come out of retirement to come help. No. Do you have any recommendations?
You know, you got to send me that after the match. I do watch a lot of Key and Peel, but I'm not familiar with that one.
All right, I'll send it your way. It is a pretty funny one, but now Niles jumps onto Surdy again. And Gragas is honestly, like, one of the champions I feel like uniquely well-suited to actually deal with Pantheon, because you have a lot of built-in sustain. You get your W off at the right time. You get a lot of damage reduction every single time that Niles is able to jump in. And I'm not super surprised that Surdy's doing a pretty good job actually standing up to this unusual character that Niles is highlighting.
All that being said, focus now is on Dragon for Maryville University. As they'll get their first foot and get the leash, get back, standing on a flank, will able to get the scat for the week onto City Witty. Rovex is the one leading the charge. There's a flash forward coming out because they found Mia all by her lonesome. Remember, she does not have flash. First blood for Maryville.
Yeah, now get back on this flank. It's just been free hitting on the rest of TLF. That will be Maryville University picking up the first Dragon of the game. That hasn't happened a whole lot this series. It's mostly been for TLF.
Get back, popping the ultimate onto Aspect. Gets them to near about 100 health. Early game plan working out for Maryville University thus far. They'll find a kill, they'll find Dragon, and a 1.2k lead.
Yeah, sticking around as well. Aspect got to be very, very careful. There's a flash stun opportunity.
Oh, be
All right,
careful,
next Q.
Aspect.
Oh my gosh. Nerves of steel.
Scatter the weeks there. You don't want to burn your flash.
Wow.
But yeah, we'll finally take the back. This was a huge mistake right here. Zyko spotting it out, knowing that flash is down.
Yeah, just a couple of people jumping right on in. And Scary Jerry also able to pick it up with the arrow at the very end as well. I feel like we've seen this so many times whenever Scary Jerry has gotten the Varus, just their ability to snipe people out and do a ton of damage. In this game, we're also seeing going for a lethality style Varus with a ton of extra poke.
Lethality style Varus, finally Mia able to get a recall in, and let's see what gets matched with here in terms of both of these marksmen. Because off that recall, Scary Cherry got his Tear of the Goddess. We got some mana coming in. Okay, Serrated Dirk. We got that bonus damage. For Mia, only a Vamp Scepter. That hurts.
I mean, the boots are nice, right?
Yeah.
They will give you the ability to try and dodge out on some of these skill shots, but it is definitely a spot where you don't have a whole lot of combat stats to actually play around. And we really haven't seen either jungler like really emerge in either of any of the lanes at this point, right? Nobody's playing towards top side, nobody's playing towards the bottom side, right? This is the first time as City Witty looks to come down, and they should know that someone's there based on the fact that Rovex has that E available.
Rovex is posturing up over into that River Brush. All meanwhile, Odd Orange is focusing for a dive onto Surdy. And Niles will be able to clear out the rest of that wave, Surdy, knowing it's coming. And there's going to be no jungler help over here. Explosive Cast comes out, ultimate burnt. Surdy will not have to burn a sum to stay alive.
Yeah. I mean, good awareness from Surdy not to blow the flash, and that will deny a couple of minions here from Surdy, but not a whole lot actually after that. It mostly will just be buying Niles an opportunity to back away and spend the gold. But at the same time, the look from City Witty did not materialize at all. Instead, it is going to be Maryville picking up both first neutral objectives in the Dragon and the Rift Herald. And this time, I mean, we were expecting that Odd Orange was going to have a good time going up against City Witty throughout most of this series, and this is probably the best start that Odd Orange has had against City.
Great start so far, especially in the neutral objective. City Witty had good control a lot of these other games over these neutrals. Now City focusing into the mid lane for Get Back. Get Back sniffs it out. It's a little bit of harassment on the way out.
Yeah. Just a little bit, right? I'm actually kind of curious, like, what kind of
Monkey's
dollars Get Back already has. What was that?
Poke the monkey's bum.
True. Did you know that's a chess opening?
Is that really?
Yeah, monkey's bum. Oh, here goes Scary.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Chain of Corruption's on to Mia. Does force out her cleanse, at least.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Odd Orange and Get Back start to move their way down towards the bottom lane. NACL will look to push them off, and that will at least force both Mia and Rovex off of this structure, and that is a lot of minions that they're going to be losing.
Teleport.
Wow.
Channeled. This is really to help out Mia right here. Get this farm in particular. Alleviate some of this pressure. Maryville will back off, and Mia doesn't have to miss out on the wave.
Yeah. But that's a teleport already getting committed, and Get Back is faster to the mid lane. Odd Orange can be protecting them, and TLF don't know where the jungler actually is. We know that they're going back into their jungle to continue farming up, but that's a very tough spot. Aspect has to go around. That's going to be trading, again, about half a wave of Aspect getting lost in exchange to make sure that Mia gets that full wave. So again, another transfer of gold effectively for TLF.
And Mia stopped the recall. Thought the piercing arrow was going to hit her. So she's forced to stay there a little bit longer to make sure she doesn't miss out on the cannon wave as well. This is a very good lead coming out for Maryville University early. 10 minutes in, and they're almost at 3K. Yeah,
with only a single kill getting picked up, right? They're forcing people off of the top lane turret. They're forcing people off of the bottom lane turret as well. Get Back already at 55 Syndra bucks, right? I believe that is the double Q. Yeah, you get the double Q, which now has an ammo system. Be very aggressive and looking for Rovex. Oh, more Syndra dollars. Woohoo!
Syndra dollars. I'm not used to that term.
Yeah, it's new.
I had to think about what you were saying for a while because I thought you were actually talking about a currency.
No, I mean,
when you
there's
said
so many
Get
characters
Back,
you just have like, you know, character dollars.
You said Get Back, and you know, Get Back from Oceania, and when you started talking about something dollars, I really thought it was currency.
Oh, no. I mean, you have a ton of characters, right? You have like Victor as Victor Bucks, right? He's got the... I don't actually know what they're called, but when you get 100 of them, you get to upgrade your laser. You know?
Splinters for Syndra. Yeah, I don't know what Victor's is.
Yeah.
Victor Bucks is good enough. I'll go.
Yeah, everybody knows what it is. Victor dollars. You know, the currency that only Victor has. As now we get Maryville. They're already at this dragon first. We do see Serdia on his way down, but he teleported towards the top side of the map. And Niles will have their teleport as well, and of course their ultimate to join the fight relatively quickly.
Maryville University, right onto this, and without much contention, Maryville University want to take the fight. Psycho hops right in, and the man dropped from the skies of Niles. It's not working out thus far. Mia's gotten excited. Can't take down Niles, though. Niles creating distance, has to fight out with Tibbers. Explosive cast will clear him out. Scary Jerry to bully one away, but Surdy will get condemned by Niles. And that is another kill coming in. It's Odd Orange who picks it up, and a win for Maryville University.
It's a 4 for 2 as Scary Jerry pierces the hearts yet again with all of those arrows. They get the dragon as well, and now Maryville walking down towards the bottom lane to give a Rift Herald and a couple of plates right on over Scary Jerry. This is a very powerful Varus already, and as they get the one auto attack to guarantee that they get a little bit of money off of this Rift Herald, that is going to be a lot more going over Scary Jerry. But we did see that Scary Jerry did have to flash forward to participate in the fight. As we get the replay starting to come through, Scary Jerry, as they go over for this fight, Niles is able to get in towards the back line, but they don't have the damage for a long time in this fight. Niles ends up going down because Tibbers is able to just wail on him for so long.
Oh, he actually killed the Tibbers.
Kill the bear.
The explosive cask at the end got him. I do feel like that was a huge misstep coming out for TLF. It was a time they shouldn't have been in that position, and it's another misposition now coming in as Rovex going to no man's land. Niles will chase him and meet him there. Try and help him into a shallow grave. Novex goes down. Mia now caught out underneath her own tower. Doesn't even get to farm this next wave. Maryville are running away with this game.
Yeah, and they get that one over to Zyko, but it ultimately doesn't matter as Get Back. Oh my gosh, the damage coming through. No ultimate available. Surdy should be able to walk this one out. And now Niles is back into the mid lane, right? It just feels like there's nowhere that Maryville is not winning as they take down the bottom lane turret, and this has been the most dominant performance thus far from Maryville after dropping Game 3.
I mean, with the way that last fight went, you said it during Champion Select. TLF have great bursts, but once that burst is down, if Mia is not up to snuff, it's not going to happen, and that was the case right there. Mia needs a lot more resources, needs a lot more time for TLF to have a fighting chance.
Yeah, and she's opting to go with the Immortal Shield Bow as well, try and keep herself alive in the upcoming fights, and yeah, that'll buy you some time going up against Niles, but that's a lot of damage missing from the Kraken Slayer at the same time, and so we'll see if that is actually enough. There's not a ton of dedicated peel. There's a lot of, like, possible peel. City Witty getting jumped on as well.
Oh no, he doesn't have flash either. Zyko realizes that. It's the grand entrance and City Witty's dropped.
City Witty's dropped and Scary Jerry is hitting the mid lane. I mean, that's a lot of pressure and it's happening as the Rift Herald is here as well. There are objective bounties for Team Liquid first to potentially try and pick up. But Rovex, he walks over to clear out this ward, is just going to watch as the Rift Herald dies.
Oh, is this really the move for TLF? Oh man, they're going forward. They know that Zyko doesn't have his ultimate. He'll still get a knockup. Nia's able to get excited. Will grab one kill. Still trying to chain it in onto Odd Orange Aspect. Flashes out, but gets caught by Niles. And Niles will run down the backline. A triple kill for Niles.
A triple kill for the captain of Maryville University. And that looking to be the nail in the coffin. They go 1 for 4. As Team Liquid first dropped the Rift Herald as well. They dropped the mid lane, and 15 minutes in, we're looking at a 9,000 gold lead. Can City get anything done?
Kidding me. What a massive gold lead to get. City will grab Scary Jerry, but the man dropped from the skies. Niles will redeem it.
It's a shutdown at the very least for City, but like you said, it is instantly brought back, and that means a lot of farm the City's not getting. Zyko goes right back on in, and we get to see how much damage is actually done when Niles is able to get in. The damage just across from Scary Jerry, and there's no way for Team Liquid to turn around to hit the 80 Gary. He's just throwing out arrows for free the entire time, and the explosive Kaz just puts Niles in the perfect position for the whole fight.
16 minutes, nearly 10K, Josh. How are Maryville University going this fast in this game? TLF, it's their last chance. They get no second lives anymore. It's tournament lives at stake, NACL lives at stake, and Maryville, they're looking to be our next team.
They're looking to be the next team. 3 potentially new teams already coming in towards the Challengers League. And Maryville, the one collegiate team yet again. They've been so dominant, the most dominant collegiate team we have ever seen. And now they're trying to play with the Challengers League as well. They've already proven they can beat several of these teams in previous proving grounds, in previous lands as well. And now as they're starting to move forward, the only thing that they got to be careful of is giving Mia resets when she is uninhibited from fighting. And she does switch over to the Kraken Slayer, going to be making sure that they have enough damage. That's just a Vampiric Scepter that is going to be sitting in the inventory for a long time.
Very, very long time. Maryville University, and what a performance. What a performance throughout this entire tournament. Even down to the AoE game. Remember, that was almost a reverse sweep that Maryville almost found against AoE to get into the NACL, but redemption is going to be found against TLF. And Maryville University, how good it has to feel for this entire program, for people like Clerky, who have been running this with such passion for so long. You know, Tej coaching this roster. Of course, the rest of the squad, you know, they want to see their teammates over in the NACL. Azog, Supernova made it up there. Wallflower, Team Tony Top made it up there. Now Maryville proper looking to do the same.
Yeah. They're so close as Odd Orange drops another Rift Herald here as well. Team Liquid first. They're going to be losing more structures on the map, and it's not as though Team Liquid first are free scaling into this one. They really need to fight around the 1 to 2 item spike, and as we say that, they're just hitting their spikes so much later.
That's ultimate for City Witty against Zyko and Odd Orange. It's going to be down and away into these team fights. Used for nothing for TLF. They are struggling. They are suffocating. Maryville are here. They look like they're here to stay.
Yeah, they aren't leaving. They've already taken control of this side of the map in Surdy. Ooh, barely gets away from the chain of corruption. That's going to be a mid lane turret falling as well. And Get Back continuing to stack up all those Cinder dollars, just getting so much extra scaling. A ton of extra AP is going to come in for this guy later on in the game. But nearly 19 minutes, Maryville can't even go for their patented 20-minute Baron takes. They're winning so hard.
Yeah, it's just domination, man. It's just absolute domination. 7-1-3, Niles. This Pantheon, being a team leader, he has the most experience on this roster, you know, hands down. We did talk about his time with Golden Guardians. Was alongside Wallflower, aka Iconic, when they played together. But even before that, had times on Maryville. You know, back on Zenith Esports, I do remember the old memes of Niles can end. He was a big threat in the amateur space all the way back then, from just how good his gangplank was and how much of a threat he could backdoor you. And Niles now, currently in 2023, still in form in the Tier 3, breaking into Tier 2.
Yeah, that's a throwback. I haven't heard that one in a long time. Niles can end, Niles can end. Niles on the split, Niles on the split. I haven't even seen that really coming through today.
Kinda did.
I guess that's
Orange
fair.
and Niles, yeah.
Yeah. Niles can end. And here we go. Maryville. They just need to make sure that they can close this one out fairly cleanly. There is a Cloud Soul spawning in 2.5 minutes, and the Baron is on the table. So if they can find a fight, if they can take some members of Team Liquid First off the board, they can clear out the vision and be confident that Team Liquid First are going to be too hesitant to walk through all the base checkpoints in their own jungle. Then Maryville can look to hit this Baron pretty soon.
Dancing around both the top and mid lane. They want to make sure they get every structure outside of the base of TLF. They will establish some strong vision control on this top side jungle. Same side that Baron is on. You expect him to go for it soon. Niles getting jumped on by City Witty. But City and Rovex are not going to do much against Niles.
Wow.
It's the Pantheon. And you can see right there, Niles basically unscathed.
Yeah. Didn't even have to throw out the invulnerable E either. And so now we are seeing them start this up, and Team Liquid First have to know what's happening. They throw out the blue trinket. They're coming over, but their position is all cattywampus.
All in for Team Liquid First. This Baron grabbed by Maryville University, 11K lead right now. They have so much in their back pocket to take the biggest team fights, and it begins. Odd Orange onto Rovex, Niles on the flank. Half health for almost the entirety of the TLF squad. 4K remains on the Baron. Odd Orange will just clean it up right now. City Witty's so far back and can get nowhere near to attempt a smite still, but will still jump onto Niles. Here it goes, going forward. Niles wants to find City, starting in a bad spot. An aspect in a bad way. One down for TLF, but it's gonna be more as Niles descends from the skies, right off the top rope, right off the face of Tony Top, and drops Team Liquid First.
Another man drop coming in from Niles, takes down multiple members, and Maryville looking to break open the base. Only 22 minutes in. This should be multiple inhibitors, and City nowhere to be found. Off hitting the Grom on the other side of the map. The only thing you can even get is a couple of your opponent's jungle camps. Maryville, such a dominant performance and such an emphatic way to end this series or to get themselves into the Challengers League.
AoE, Team Tony Top. Soon, Maryville University alongside Supernova in the lower bracket. These look to be our 4 teams in summer. Unless TLF can find some way to answer 15K, man. You need more than just a miracle to come back from that.
What's it gonna take? Maybe we can get Rebel Fox to unplug the computers. I think anything short of that, it's looking like Maryville are gonna find their way in. As they're already starting to look for another dragon. They get the Dragon Soul 23 minutes in. The Cloud Soul, they're so fast. Oh my gosh. Zyko is gonna be going absolutely nuts every single time he ults. And the top lane, completely exposed. The bottom lane, the inhibitor turret, because of the Rift Herald crash from so long ago, it feels like. Maryville, they're coming back, and this thing is already super chunked.
Maryville University have been on the posters of some of our biggest matches alongside Supernova as well. I remember it was like the Heart of Amateur versus the Kings of Collegiate. And how amazing is it that both of their chapters look to be in the NACL next split. Leading in right now is Maryville University. They're looking for the close, they're looking for the game, and another inhibitor falling by the wayside.
As they look for the top one, everybody on Maryville is going to be cycling around. There's no real way for Team Liquid First to even go for some kind of crazy flank. But they got to be feeling desperate. Rovex, I choose you. We just got to throw you in.
Throw in all you got, the kitchen sink, throw in
Red
your
Rover,
grandma.
Red Rover. Send Rovex
Anyone,
right over.
Man. You got to go down swinging, TLF. You got to give it your best chance. Because right now, double supers are coming into your base. Maryville are watching with eyes towards the stars. And it's just one more fight before they take the dub.
Oh my gosh, the poke coming through. And these minions, as you said, Eric, they get worse and worse. You got to make something happen.
Here we go, TLF. Trying to stand, but they can stand no more. The arrow comes through, and so does Scatter the Weak. And Maryville University putting in the finishing touches. It wasn't a question of will Maryville make it into the NACL. It was a question of when. It only took them one damn split. The most decorated team in CLOL history. The Kings of the North set their sights on conquest. Welcome to the LCS Challengers League.
Congratulations to Maryville on coming in. As you called out, they've been looking for this for a long time. This squad was potentially looking to do it even earlier than this, but they do it here. They're finding their way into the summer split here for the LCS Challengers League in a huge 3-1, an incredibly dominant finish to that last one in 24 minutes.
How good does it feel, man? How good does it feel? We get our first promotion tournament, and some of the names we've cared about so much in Maryville, the Kings of Collegiate, Supernova as well. And we get to stay in. Team Toady Top surprising us all.
Ooh, in the stars.
What a wild, wild ride this promotion tournament has been, and what a story for some of these teams, especially Maryville University, the first collegiate squad to enter the LCS Challengers League. But Josh, let's see a very familiar face for us. We talked about it before. We used to be those Team Liquid casters. Odd Orange was on the squad back then when we casted, and we're going to have an interview with Odd Orange. We'll be right back. Kangas, we'll catch you on the other side.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, for our post-series interview with the victorious Maryville jungler in Odd Orange. Congratulations on the win, man. First of all, I know this is a huge accomplishment for you and the team.
Oh yeah, it feels amazing. It feels amazing for sure.
Team right there behind you, as well as Niles patting you on the back. A great, well-fought series. A little bit of a stop in that last game, though. When did you know, like, okay, we're winning this one. We got this one in the bag. We're going to be in Challengers in summer.
Oh, wow. Honestly, it's, I don't want to sound too cocky, but after the Dragon fight and we flashed on the Jinx and, like, got the first Drake, I was like, this game's going to be controlled, slow, and we're just going to win every objective fight. So, like the first Dragon, honestly.
Yeah, Jerry got pretty fed after that one as he's walking behind you right now. Maybe we can get him to give his best representation of his Varus arrows in that one. I was tracking the items. He was like 2 items at 10 minutes. That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have now qualified for LCS Challengers as the collegiate representatives. How does it feel to show that collegiate is still on the map when it comes to Tier 2 League of Legends?
How does it feel? It feels good to be the only team to make that mark. I think it shows that we are... I mean, we haven't won the CLOL in the last 2 years. I think it's been on us, and I feel like joining NACL, we should be the heavy favorites going into CLOL and showing. And I feel like it shows that we are a notch above all the other teams. So I don't like seeing all the brackets out there, the CLOL predictions that have us. If anyone doesn't have us winning, it definitely makes me mad. I don't want to see that shit anymore.
So you think that you are the only collegiate org right now that is at this level, that is able to compete at the Tier 2?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Okay, cool. I love hearing that. Obviously, you're the one competing against all the other collegiate players, so you'd know better than us.
Yeah.
Now, you are joining a couple other teammates from the Maryville program that have already qualified for Challengers. How does it feel to see? It's not just 5 players from Maryville. How many in total have now made it into LCS Challengers from your program?
7 total. So us 5, our team, and then Azog on Supernova and Wallflower on Team Tony Top.
That is absurd, kind
Yes.
of.
Yeah. And then I will
Yeah,
say,
go.
and then Pi Cake Lord, if Rock Boom was in the first OQ, they only did the second one, they would have qualified too. So
Yeah, making
So
the
we would've
finals,
thought- yeah,
not
but
having
they only-
enough points. That was a
Yeah.
big story too. Can you definitively say then, is this the most stacked that the Maryville roster has ever been? Because obviously you haven't won yet the title, but this is still pretty impactful. Like what the depth of the roster has been able to do.
Yeah, so I've been here 2 years now. Me personally, I do think this is probably the best in form we've ever been. Especially at this time of the year, it's great to be that strong. But also, if you didn't know about like our coaching behind the scenes changes, like last year, I think promoting Tej to head coach and just the way we've been organizing this team over the last 3-4 months with like with Tej, and is just, I don't want to flame, but like with Tej, it's been so great. I think this is the best like
Sure.
practice we've had with over the last 3 months because of our coaching situation as well.
Okay, fair enough. So feeling like the team's jiving together a little bit better.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
I don't want to just like say it's the most stacked like Maryville roster. It's also like behind the scenes, like for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
So, yeah.
Well, you made it to Challengers League. I want to get the opportunity to talk about the future for your summer now. What are the goals for the team and for yourself personally? What's everybody aiming for now making it into the LCS Challengers?
So obviously not all of us want to play in the LCS anymore or in academy. That's not all of our goals. But Jerry is 100%. He's a newer player. He's just been coming up the last like year and a half, and I know he wants to play pro. I'm like 90% sure that Zyko really wants to play professionally as well. And I think, they're both like, I thought they were like head and shoulders the best bot lane in this top 8 of these 8 teams that were qualifying for NACL. Head and shoulders above everybody else. And they're very high elo as well. They're like 1500 LP. They're both top 10, which I'd be really surprised if they want to go pro and they don't get reached out to by organizations going into probably summer or even 2024.
Scary Jerry behind you still. Is he walking around? Can we get him to
Jerry,
come back on
you wanna
camera
say
real
something?
quick?
Oh.
Just get him to like look at the camera. Everybody
Hey, look
in
at the
Twitch
camera.
chat.
Look at the camera.
This is the guy. This is the guy making the run to the LCS through the LCS Challengers League. Round of applause for Scary Jerry.
Shout out Collegiate. We're coming for everybody. We're gonna win. Also, Shogo's been in the Twitch chat of every match that we've had, so shout out to him. He's our biggest fan.
Nice.
Can't wait to take St. Thomas out in the finals.
How's the weather down there?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Scary Jerry. Now, Odd Orange, back to you as a player. This is a big deal. Even if it's no longer your goal to make it to the LCS, you have been on that path earlier on in your career.
Yep.
It was 2019. It was the last time that we saw you in the Academy ecosystem on Team Liquid. It's funny that we actually have Desworks and Joshi who are casting your games back then, given the final calls
is
for you
great.
here, qualifying back in LCS Challengers. How does it feel now to make it back into the tier with your peers like Insanity, like Jenkins, back against this kind of competition?
Oh, I mean, I think it feels, this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think it feels a lot better coming in from a Maryville, like from Maryville's perspective. In the past, I've worked with, in academy teams, the pressure can be very high and the coaches can pressure you to play certain ways. And I remember when I personally played back in 2019, I was pressured to play a way that I wasn't playing when I got promoted because I came from amateur. And so I think like if this iteration of 5 sticks around for the summer split of NACL, I think we will surprise a lot of people in the standings, similar to like AoE and Wildcard. I think we will actually place pretty well because we just can work together, and it's just there's no like real head coach like pressuring us to do these certain things or play a certain way. It's like we collectively come together and talk about it as a team. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll be looking forward to your run in summer. It's a big story. Cool to we have a collegiate representative now at this level. But
Yeah.
I want to let you go with their team and celebrate a well-earned victory. Final shout-outs that you have for anybody at home watching.
Yeah, I will shouts out my brother who sent me a really sweet text this morning that he's been watching all my matches. Love him. Shout out my dad. Shout out my girlfriend. She keeps my mental straight. You know, she keeps me good. Shout out the boys. The boys played amazing. I think I don't have to do much on this team. I'm just the glue guy. I pick a CC champion and set up the boys. Like they're strongest player in each role. Like very, very good players. My job's not very hard. So, and
Well-
shout out Tej and Dan, and everyone.
everybody behind the scenes at Maryville making this team function, making it work, and of course the teammates. Awesome to hear. Thanks so much, Hot Orange, for coming on, and good luck going into CLO and Summer LCS Challengers League.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, we'll bring back on the casters now to close out the show. Desirx, Joshi, you two were there the last time that man was playing in the Academy system back in 2019. Desirx, I know that this is an emotional moment for you as well, following this man's journey for so long.
Yeah, you know, regardless of where he really wants to get to and where his goals are, it's still so exciting seeing him part of this Maryville University system. This entire program, you know, they gave a good shout out to Dan Clerkey. I think Clerkey has done a phenomenal job raising this program and trying to make the most of it with every tournament they go to and every roster they're able to pick up. Of course, Tej, big level up in coaching as well. I mean, everything that Maryville has done, they've done it with passion, they've done it with determination, and now seeing them in the NACL, let's go, baby!
And Joshi as well, as we take a look at the playoff bracket, updated for one last time. I think it's cool that they're honest. You know, not every player on this team's goal is to make LCS, but there are players who do have that goal. So it's about supporting them and enabling these other younger players to come in. As Maryville, you see it on the screen right now, have qualified along with Supernova, Tony Top, and AoE for the summer split.
Yeah, it's definitely a very different look than a lot of other teams, and we will see how well Maryville actually performs when they get to Challengers League. But for now, like they said, I mean, the next step isn't actually an ACL. It's about CLO, right? It's coming right around the corner. They're trying to win another tournament as well.
By the way, I want to throw this on the side right here. I did see Shogo in the chat during the interview. He said, I'm a big fan of what MU's been doing. We're still going to lose, though.
Oh, you love it. You love the chirping. But to close out the entire week of gameplay, baby, a long split. We are at the end of spring as we now start to gear up towards summer. So let's take a look at our Samsung SSD Fast 5.
Samsung SSD Fast 5?
Of the tournament. The Samsung SSD Fast 5. Same thing as usual. Desirx, I want to point out the most impressive player that you see in any position on this current graphic.
Most impressive to me would be actually Quacker. Just because of the shoes he had to fill coming into AoE, and they still got in without falling into the lower bracket. I think being a new face and still being able to lane that well to be the fastest 100 CS, I'm impressed.
Yeah. In general, AoE with 4 representatives up on here, like 3 you see from time to time. 4, also Team Fish Taco also have 4 members on this board as well. But, I mean, the fact that Quacker, Lynx, and Skytick are all topping their charts is kind of nutty. I mean, that just kind of goes to show how dominant they were in some of their previous games.
Yeah, kind of crazy to think that they did not actually make it through. Big upset for Supernova. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and that is the way that the entire tournament went. So, thank you to Samsung SSD Fast 5 for helping us out with some of those stats. Thank you to all the players for coming on. That's going to do it for an entire spring split. Desirx, Joshi did an amazing job on the cast. Thanks for sticking around through all of that. Thank you to everybody in production at Monkey Bubble and Rally Cry, of course, as well, for helping us put together this entire show. And, of course, the players. We would not have this show if it weren't for the players trying to make it. Desirx, did you have something you wanted to say?
Can I say it one more time?
Yes.
For spring, close it out. Angus is bald.
We're not gonna end on that note. No, I was gonna use that as the transition. We're not ending on that note, Desirx. Thank you to the players who have the drive and the competitive urge to actually keep going and make it to the LCS. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have the show. And of course, thank you to everybody in the audience for cheering them along. We'll be back for Summer Split with more LCS Challengers, and we'll see you there.
Angus is bald!
Stop it!